This week, People News. A little bit of educational and a little bit of a joke.
Financial instrument that's fake money. Only gold or silver coin is real money. And common law, only gold or silver were legal tender. Gold and silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. The term dollars likewise is incorrect, which according to the constitutional definition are monetary units used in exchange backed by gold and silver. Our present-day fiat issues are supported by more printed paper of the same, therefore they are correctly termed Federal Reserve notes, not dollars. And I will come near to you in judgment. I'll be a swift witness against the sorcerers, against the adulterers, against the false swearers, against those that oppress the hireling and his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and have turned aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. You know, there's a joke that I like to say. It's a lawyer joke or an engineer joke, depends on how you wanna call it. But anyways, so there's an engineer that died and went to heaven. And he got to the pearly gates, and they said, "Oh, you can't come here. You got to go to the other place." So he went down to hell, and he was down there designing and building escalators and air conditioners and doing all sorts of stuff. And one day, God gets on the phone with the devil and says, "So how's it going?" And the devil says, "Well, we got an engineer down here, and he's building escalators and air conditioners and all sorts of stuff." And God says, "He's not supposed to be down there. You set him up here." And the devil says, "Nope, we're not going to do it." And they get going back and forth and send him up here. The devil says, "Nope, forget it." And God says, "I'll sue." And the devil laughs uproariously, and he says, "Where are you going to find a lawyer?" So all the lawyers are in hell. Anyways, don't get me going. Endless wars. Endless wars. That's right. He's a liar. Endless wars. According to Britannica.com, there were 135,000 U.S. casualties when we invaded Normandy in the Second World War. 65,000 United Kingdom casualties, 18,000 Canadian casualties, 12,200 French casualties, 550,000 total casualties both sides. So this is taken from a website that talks about that. And so think about it. If there's all those minor estate accounts, so 550,000. If there was say $1 million in each one, then that would be $5.5 trillion. I think 550,000 times a million. So it's a lot, and so. United States at the end of World War II is one of the most heavily indebted nations on the planet, and within a few years it was one of the most least indebted nations on the planet because all those states paid off the war debt. That's all those minor estates. So they want you dead. Taxes are not raised to carry on wars. Wars are raised to carry on taxes. War is not meant to be won, it's meant to be continuous. They want you dead. After World War II, the United States is one of the most heavily indebted nations on the planet. By the 50s, the U.S. was one of the least most indebted nations on the planet. They let Hitler escape because he facilitated their satanic blood sacrifice and make sure the banksters got paid. They want you dead so they can pillage all the fake money in the Treasury Direct account with the Treasury, the International Monetary Fund. They want you to exercise your right to resist their unlawful arrest so they can have an excuse to murder you, just like the pigs did to the guy in Utah last spring. Actually, it was a year ago last spring. Yeah, it's about 2 years ago now. That had homemade plates on his car. So are you subject to regulations? Some people say there's millions of dollars, maybe billions of dollars in that account. People are saying change your status, affidavit of rescission. Some people claim to have received a black credit card with unlimited credit. Status, that's Roman law, okay? Compare a state. A corporation has no status as a citizen outside the jurisdiction where it was created. Corporation's a citizen's a corporation. If they're assaulting you with their U.S. citizen slave, then you're in the District of Columbia. Law of status, the category of law dealing with personal, non-proprietary rights, whether in rem or in personam. It's one of three departments in which the civil law is divided. Okay, remember, civil law, Roman civil law are convertible phrases. Same as municipal law. Okay, so that's Roman law is what it is. Law-abiding citizens, they want you dead. The brave soldiers are there just doing their job. A bunch of law-abiding citizens. Those who make their fortunes from you being sick are the same people who tell you what will make you well. Oh, some more law-abiding citizens. Oh, some more law-abiding citizens. Oh, some more law-abiding citizens. My contact information is sovereigntyinternational.wordpress.com. My website is sovereigntyinternational.fyi. My email address is engineerwin@yahoo.com. My YouTube profile is Sovereign Living. My Facebook community page I deleted it due to censorship on the part of Facebook. My private group called Sovereignty International is being deleted. Freelist, I've got a private group called Freelist on freelist.org called Administrating Your Public Servants, and I got a Google private group called Administrating Your Public Servants. So that's at googlegroups.com. Anyways, follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. HowTube, Sovereignty International is my exclusive videos. Rumble is Sovereignty International. Truth Social is Engineer Win. And I've got a group on Truth Social called Sovereignty International. And I deleted my X profile because they were censoring me. Story affirmed the right of self-defense by persons held illegally in his own writings. He had admitted that a situation could arise in which the checks and balances principle ceased to work and the various branches of government concurred in a gross usurpation. There would be no usual remedy by changing the law or passing an amendment to the Constitution should the opposed property be a minority. Story concluded, if there was any remedy at all, it's a remedy never provided for by human institutions. That was the ultimate right of all human beings in extreme cases to resist oppression and to apply force against ruinous injustice. From Mutiny on the Amistad by Howard Jones, Oxford University Press, 1987, account of the reading of the decision in the case Joseph Story of the Supreme Court. So they're talking about the Amistad. You have a right to resist an unlawful arrest with lethal force if necessary. The people took over a slave ship and killed all their captors except for one on a slave ship, and they demanded that that one survivor take them back to Africa because they didn't know how to sail. They sailed in circles off the coast of Virginia until the U.S. Navy found them, and they were brought back and charged with murder. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court dismissed the murder charges and ordered them sent back to Africa. Endless wars are to get you into their killing fields so their banksters can collect the fake money in the Treasury direct account, but you can fight for your bankrupt corporation. They intend to assault you with the minor estate, to assault you with the Commerce Clause, with their plenary dictatorship jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. They routinely unlawful arrest you with the objective of you exercising your right to resist their unlawful arrest so their military police, their pigs, can have an excuse to murder you. They're engaging in endless wars to get you in their killing fields. Either way, your bankster handlers can pillage all the fake money in the Treasury direct accounts. That's why they don't want to talk to me. I can tell you that for sure because I accuse them of attempted murder. I get a police report and I file attempted murder charges against them. Because I have a right to resist an unlawful arrest with lethal force if necessary.
Alrighty. And moreover, if they're doing all these things, they're violating the 13th Amendment, imprisonment, and I don't care if they even say you are detained. You've been seized. You're in imprisonment, which is a violation of the 13th Amendment. You cannot be free and be detained at the exact same time or arrested. Therefore, you are a slave when you are to be ordered. Peace with People News. Bye, y'all.